Oh my god, hey, it's MickeyJoTheatre here, and I am at a rehearsal studio in London to meet West End and Broadway star, musical theatre icon Rachel Tucker, ahead of her upcoming concert tour, I'm Home. She's opening in Belfast in a couple of weeks, and in the middle of today's band rehearsal, I got to chat to her about the show that she's going to be taking on the road, as well as some of the songs that brought her here. Take a look.
So this is what you meant when you said the day was spent. And now it's time to build from the bottom of the pit right to the top. Don't hold back. Packing my bags and giving the academy a arranging.
Rachel Tucker, icon of the West End and Broadway stage. Oh my god, hey.
Oh my god, hey.
We are here in the middle of your rehearsals,
Yes.
getting ready to do a brand new concert tour of your new show, I'm Home,
Yes.
opening in a couple of weeks in Belfast.
It sure is. Back home where I am from. I kick off at the Mac in Belfast, and honestly it was like I had the choice to do it at the start or the end of the tour. And I was like, let's kick it off. Let's start How Women to Go On, which is a total and utter party. When I go back to Belfast, like they love it. There's such a great, warm, responsive audience. So that's what I need to start the tour.
So as well as that, what does home mean to you about when it comes to this show?
Oh, well, it's everything. The reason this album was conceived was the home theme was I was living in New York at the time with my family, out of work, just finished, come from away. And, you know, us unemployed actors, we try and we're obviously looking for the next project, the next show, concert. So, brilliant Westway in London approached and said, listen, there's an album deal if you want it. Let's, you know, is this something you would be interested in? And I jumped at it because I hadn't made a studio album in I think about 5 years. And I had a lot of feeling about, is this home? Is New York now home? Is it not? Is it back to London? You know, I spent a lot of time in Belfast, Northern Ireland filming this last 2 or 3 years. It's like, where is home for me? So I thought, if I'm going to do an album, I want it to be about how I make it home. You know, how do I, what is home to me? And I found out that it's my family. It's my husband and my son, wherever they are. That is home to me, and it took me a whole year. It took the long way around, but to find all those songs and to find how I create this and get that feeling across. But it was such a honour and such a thrill finding the songs.
It's a fantastic mix of songs on the album, and it's so very you as well, because it's musical theatre, but from your own perspective. It's a little bit pop rock, and it talks a lot about motherhood, and you're singing about your son on the album.
He's my boy. He's my boy.
It's a lovely mix of tracks, and then for the shows, a few more musical surprises as well.
There are a few surprises along the road of the tour, some bit of family fun maybe. I can't give too much away. I want to say something, but I can't.
The arrangements are very thrilling as well for musical theatre fans.
Yes, you will get lots of lovely, luscious arrangements. Sam Young, who's arranged most of these, is incredible. But what I wanted to do was make the musical theatre songs a little bit more the vibe of the album, which is like Americana, kind of poppy rock, kind of leaning into the modern pop sound. And then with the pop rock songs, I wanted to put a bit more theatricality into it, a bit more musical theatre sounding. Yeah. So there's a couple of songs in here that I'm so excited to sing, and I think they will be too.
I think that's just the way you sing as well. You find such honesty in a lyric, and it's very soul bearing. The way that I have never, in all of the performances I've seen you give, I have never seen you do anything less than with wholehearted commitment. I've been trying to figure out the first song I ever saw you perform on stage, and it's 2006, Southampton Mayflower, Tonight's the Night, the Rod Stewart musical.
Oh, my word, you were there.
I was there with my parents. Probably shouldn't have been.
Probably about 8.
In reflection. And you can't find very much about Tonight's the Night, the Rod Stewart musical online, but you sang one of the ballads.
Oh, I did. I said, no, was it I Don't Want to Talk About It? No, it's not. That was my friend's. It's
Someone Like You Makes It Hard to Live Without.
Someone Like Me. Yes, look at you.
Beautiful song. Yeah.
It's a gorgeous song. That was another great tour. And so, yes, and the Mayflower, that was when I played there, and I can't wait to play there again on my own show.
It's time to take
then you popped up on all of our TV screens on I'd Do Anything, and we're looking through programmes like, we've seen her somewhere before.
I know that phase. Are you even old enough?
I was 11 at the time, I think.
Wow,
Yeah.
so you proper musical theatre kid, were you?
Oh, yeah.
No, just at every show?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I live. My home is musical theatre. I just get such a thrill. Like you say, finding the lyric. For me, it's finding a real honesty and a truth behind a lyric. And I love it when someone says, I forgot that was the tune. You know, I forgot, like an iconic song like maybe He's My Boy, or, something from Wicked, that their people are just so familiar with how the song sounds, that when someone says, I forgot that you were singing that song, that's when I go, well, that makes me so happy, because my interpretation of it, the story has to cut through. It has to be about believing what I'm saying before I'm singing it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah, which is why, if I may say, you are one of the greatest Elphabas that we have had, because we all sing those songs, and we've all been in our bedroom going, it may as well have no lyrics. And then, but the way you approach it, it's so meaningful, and this is why I think you made such an impact. And that's not just from me. I have many friends who have seen every Elphaba going, who've said, Rachel Tucker, one of the best. Do you know you're still on the marketing outside the Gershwin Theatre in New York?
I do. I constantly get posts from people saying, you're still on the... I do. It just so happened to be the year I was there, they wanted to freshen the front of the building up, and it was myself and Cara Lindsay. And in fact, an ensemble member from the London cast is up there too.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. See, that's what happens. They just... So maybe it might be another 10 years before they rip those down and put the next young Elphaba up. So, but I mean, it's nice to be reminded. Nice to be on a building.
And I swear I remember to say we were both born today.
Thinking about storytelling in songs, is there a show, a particular song or material that you've performed on stage that was really satisfying as an actress, maybe not so much of like an enormous sing? I'm thinking about like when you did John and Jen.
Oh, yes, that's a great example of that. Because John and Jen it was at the Southwark, we did it a few years back, and it's an unknown two-hander musical. It has got some brilliant songs and music in it. But actually having to really navigate your way through that as an actress and have that communication with my brother and Lewis Carney at the time, that was a real gift to be able to actually find like you say, the musicality is great, but find the acting through it. Also, I would say, I think Sunset gave me that. Now, not that the score isn't any way that not describing it as you were, but I just mean, I had to, because it's so heavily musically driven, I again had to find cutting my own way through my Norma and finding where she lands and what she wants. I thought that was the most recent, and again that song, like With One Look, and the other great numbers, If We Never Say Goodbye. They're just gifts. They are. It was such an honour to, and it's the first Andrew Lloyd Webber show I've done since meeting him on the programme on I Do Anything, and so it felt like a full circle moment for me, and singing that score, and with the actress Norma being as a little crazy as she is, finding all that, so it was a real gift.
It was a bizarre full circle in many ways, because As If We Never Said Goodbye is a song that you performed on I'd Do Anything. I think it was with Sarah Lark.
Sarah Lark, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, who is still in Les Mis.
She is.
She is, yeah.
Holding that show up.
Yeah.
Wow, it was the sing-off between myself and Sarah. Actually, I remembered that, but I forgot it, but now I've remembered again, so thank you. Yeah, no, great. I loved I'd Do Anything. I really had a brilliant, mental time, just having to talk about being switched on and being ready to go, and anything they threw at you. It was like a real intense 12-week training course, a programme of just getting it right. And when you fail, pick yourself up, do it again, be better. It was it was a real learning curve, that, for me.
And I guess at the time it felt like winning and Nancy was the only goal, but for so many of you from that show, I mean, the careers that came out of that programme.
Jessie Buckley.
Yeah.
Movie star.
Yeah.
My wee buckers. Sam, like loads of girls. Again, it was such an opportunity to go on and showcase what talent you have, and that was the reason I did it.
Yeah.
Because I was getting so far, and not getting the show because someone with a bit of profile was getting the job over me, or so I thought, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
And it was the right year. I wouldn't have went for it if it had been something else, that wasn't quite suitable for. But Nancy was right up my street.
Yeah. And now Oliver's coming back to the West
And
End
it
as
is
well.
coming back.
It all comes around.
And it does.
It
Full
does.
circle.
I want to talk about one more iconic Rachel Tucker moment.
Okay.
Because the last time I was in a rehearsal room and you were performing, it was for the Pirate Queen in concert. And you came in and sang that song, and it was towards the end, and you were doing it for the score, still in rehearsals, and it's the moment you threw that score on the floor.
I think this is the most talked about moment.
I've got it now.
It's
I don't need this.
I don't need it. I'm going to sell it. The thing was, they gave me the wrong time for the press junket, so everyone was there, and I was a half an hour late because they told me it was a different time. So I had to go in the room beside you, quickly belt some type of warm up because I knew. I felt I felt like I couldn't let it run away with me anymore. I felt like I have to take control of this. So that's where that came from.
Yeah.
So that's
worked.
We're still talking about it. So yeah, no, I just spur the moment thing. I was like, I've got this.
Yeah. Forever iconic, forever powerful, and I mean, everyone knows how brilliant you are on stage, and audiences are going to be thrilled with this show. And I can't wait to come and see it. I wish you the best of luck on the road.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's Tucker!
Thank you for watching this interview. Make sure to comment down below with which musical theatre star you would like me to chat to next. And I hope that everyone is staying safe and that you have a stagey day. And go see Rachel Tucker on tour in I'm Home.
For 10 more seconds, I'm MickeyJoTheatre. Oh my god, hey. Thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!